Are you ready to make good trouble? Are you ready to be the change? Are you ready to make the good necessary trouble that icon civil rights leader John Lewis proclaimed? Warm greetings, Mission of Hope and Deliverance Church. I am Tanya Ward Jordan, poet and president of the Coalition for Change, Inc., C4C, a civil rights group. And today, as we observe Black History Month, I want to share with you my good trouble testimony and how I use my gifts to ignite a change in the federal workplace. To rewind and give you a little background, let me just share that in 2000, I suffered from the crushing racism on my job and the harmful mental and physical enduring trauma that I went through because of it was so much that I eventually filed a equal employment opportunity complaint with the Office of Civil Rights. Now, managers, of course, quickly labeled me troublemaker. I won't recite the journey of my agony all those years, all those many years. But it suffice to say that it took the government almost 10 long years to settle my race discrimination complaint, my Goliath. But I'll never forget on December 13, 2008, how I could not sleep. My race discrimination lawsuit surely had ended, but racism in the federal workplace had not. I still felt the pain of my coworkers and my colleagues suffering in that poisonous, toxic workplace culture of retaliation. And that reality left me stalled in bed, staring up at the ceiling, tearfully. I had gotten and fallen into a sunken place emotionally. But hours later, I popped up. Something stirred my spirit, and I popped up and I grabbed my laptop and I trademarked, don't ask me why, the Coalition for Change, C4C. You see, I was inspired by President Obama's mantra. We are the change we seek. We are the change we seek. And with that echoing in my mind, I eventually settled to sleep. Well, the next day, I felt a little hurried, right? I was like, oh Lord. And I didn't think I even said it out loud. What did I do? I trademarked this name. I don't even have a group. It's just me. I mean, I'm the best foot soldier anybody would want to have, but to lead, no way. Well, after I downed my cup of coffee and grabbed my Bible, it opened to Proverbs 4, 23, 27. And those words deposited in my soul. And I tell you, my Bible says a father's wise advice, but Proverbs 4:23 starts off, above all else, guard your heart. Now, I'll tell you, I wasn't familiar with those words or what it all meant, but I knew enough to highlight it with my yellow marker. And as I did, I got this stirring and this burning urge to go to church. I hadn't been in a few weeks and I hadn't planned on going. But the next thing I know, I was sitting in the pew listening to the pastor say, some of you are following when you're meant to lead. And today I'm going to give you the roadmap for leading. And he said, we're going to talk from Proverbs 4, 23, 27. And I tell you, church, my mouth dropped open and tears gushed down my cheeks. The pastor's words, his declaration, his confirmation, that affirmation signaled to me that I was meant to make good trouble. Good trouble, the kind that John Lewis talked of. And with those words, I launched the Coalition for Change, a group to support federal workers like myself suffering from workplace discrimination and to address workplace discrimination. I opened my home up. I met with federal workers harmed from discrimination. I met with the Elijah Cummings, the representative Elijah Cummings out of Baltimore, with his constituent, Paulette Taylor, who joined me. And thanks, glory be to God, who put these ideas in my head. I presented to Congressman Cummings the ideas within me that I had hoped to curb the poisonous culture hovering around the federal workplace. And I have to say that the congressman, our champion, listened attentively, and he later introduced those measures I presented in a bill. And last year, or was this last year, 2021, the bill became law. The Elijah Cummings Federal Employee Anti-Discrimination Act became law. Well, as I come to a close, I just want to invite you to think about two things. One, what problem burns inside you that you would like solved? For me, it was discrimination in the federal government, and it's not solved yet, but I will continue to use my gifts. What problem burns inside you? Maybe it's veterans issues or gun control, police brutality. You know it's for you to explore. Secondly, what gifts lie inside you that you can use to make good trouble? Now, surely you can pound the pavement, you can storm the streets. I've done it and I will. But I also use my other gifts, and I invite you to do so, be it singing, art, coaching, speaking, exploring. And on that note, I'm going to close pretty much the way I opened, by challenging you and asking, are you ready to make good trouble? Are you ready to be the change? Are you ready to make the necessary trouble that icon John Lewis proclaimed? Are you ready to make good trouble, the kind you can be proud of?